gone.
Important work in film history is being done by New York's Museum of Modern Art. A team of film technicians has earned an Oscar of their own. They find and preserve classic films, many of which were made almost a century ago. In the film archives of the Museum of Modern Art, curators are trying to restore a silent film classic.
If you look closely, you can't see it now, but you can see it's very scratched.
The 1923 film Rosita stars Mary Pickford, one of America's first film icons. This is the only surviving complete print of this film?
Yes.
Katie Traynor manages the collection.
This actual print was 4K scanned at a lab, and now they're in the process of going through it, like literally frame by frame.
MoMA's film archive, started in 1935, is the oldest in the world.
This is our little guy.
And so influential that in 1977, the Academy honored the museum for its pioneering work.
And this is our Oscar.
Nice. Museum of Modern Art, Department of Film.
Specifically for our work in film preservation.
Yeah. Chief Curator Raj Roy says as MoMA's library expanded, it outgrew the museum's New York City location. So this sprawling storage facility was built in Hamlin, Pennsylvania. It's cold in here.
It's very cold, yeah. All the better to keep these. So at this temperature, about 35 degrees, relatively dry, we can keep these for almost 400 years.
This is just one of more than 50 storage vaults for 25,000 titles. Everything from experimental films to classics like Birth of a Nation, Grapes of Wrath, and The Third Man.
One of our favorites, a little film called Citizen Kane right here on many reels. But, we keep these all flat, dry, cold. Having the analog storage version is always the best thing. It's what lets me sleep at night, knowing that we have all this.
So these are all old posters and things?
Posters, ephemera, records from distributors and studios.
MoMA also archives those. Wow.
So these are all from the Atlanta premiere of Gone with the Wind.
Like the studio's scrapbook of press clippings from Gone with the Wind's 1939 premiere, which includes a page on the black actors in the film.
The darker side of Gone with the Wind.
Look at that. MoMA's work restoring Rosita will, in all, take about 2 years. It'll bring back a major Mary Pickford film that was also the first American movie by legendary German director Ernst Lubitsch. Yeah. Dave Kerr is head of film preservation at MoMA. So how does a film like that disappear?
Mary apparently took a personal dislike to it for reasons that are still not completely clear. It seems that she deliberately allowed the film to deteriorate. She didn't renew the copyright on the film.
But the museum discovered a copy in the Soviet Union in the 1970s.
In horrible condition. And it was just too much for the technology of that time to handle.
Now Rosita's time has finally come, and Kerr wishes more films could be restored to the quality of Douglas Fairbanks' final movie, The Iron Mask, made in 1929.
This is a very crisp copy because it has been made directly from the original camera negative, the actual film that passed through the cameras on the set.
But even showing these films will become challenging. 35mm projectors are no longer manufactured, and Kerr says spare parts will keep existing projectors going only for another decade.
But after that, we have to start digitizing this massive collection, which is such a huge undertaking, it just makes my head explode.
Do you feel like you're in a race?
It's getting there. I don't think the seriousness of this has really settled in, even in the archival community. I'm still convinced that movies are absolutely what America did best in the 20th century. And that's, our defining art form. And I don't want to lose one frame of that stuff. I really don't.
Some amazing stuff. And one of the interesting challenges here is it can cost $10,000, $20,000 to digitize a film. And if you're talking about
digitizing a library that extensive,
Yeah.
you know, that's a lot of money and a lot of time.
I feel like they could have some film students come and just from a point of history, come and help with some of that work, because what an extraordinary thing to kind of go back and touch these things, right? In this digital age, to go back and touch these things which are so important
Yeah.
to that community.